Rainier Avenue Radio.
Northwest Film Forum's Collective Power Fund is now open for grant applications. Grants are starting at $2,000 up to $10,000 for individual or artist collectives. The annual grant cycle focuses primarily on supporting art that incites public dialogue, pushes boundaries, explores genre fluidity, speaks its truth through an authentic perspective, and is often non-traditional, anti-institutional, socially responsible, or disruptive of any existing structures and conventions. Learn more and apply at collectivepowernw.org.
This is Mondo Bancaro for Mondo's World. We will be discussing some interesting subjects. Sometimes I might even have some guests. So please listen to my show on Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is Dupe, your host of Monday Night Sports. Join me tonight at 6:30 along with my guest, Hall of Fame writer David Dupree. And we're talking all things NBA. That's right here on Monday Night Sports, 6:30 tonight on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Feel uneasy on your feet? Need assistance to walk? Do you use a wheelchair and want to stand more? What if you could stand stronger and feel steadier on your feet? What would this mean for your daily life and those closest to you? Join our dance-based walking program to improve balance, coordination, strength, and stamina. Wednesdays, May 18th to June 22nd at 2 p.m. at the iconic Columbia City Theater in partnership with Rainier Avenue Radio and Hugs That Empower Nonprofit. Walkers, wheelchairs, and canes, welcome. If you can stand and bear weight for even just 5 seconds, come dance to walk with Tango Stride.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not busy tearing the roof off the suckers, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Yo!
What up, though?
I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see it.
All right, then. It's time for you to bring it to the table.
Turn up your radio wherever you at. We about to bring it.
Street Beat. Yeah.
With Tony B.
For the next hour, Tony B will give you a chance to tackle local, national, and international issues that affect your community.
Street Beat. Street Beat. With Tony.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Street Beat right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. It's me, Tony B. Really looking forward to this particular edition of Street Beat. The Street Beat of the city is Nico Glover. Yeah, that's right. I'm really happy and excited about this opportunity to, not that a lot of folks don't already know him, but to introduce him to our Rainier Avenue radio audience officially. Among other things, Rainier Beach Economic Development Manager, Africatown board member, one of the founders of King County Equity Now. Please, those of you out there listening, how about a round warm of applause for my guest, Mr. Fynniecko Glover Jr. I'll try it again. Try it.
Hey, y'all can. Hey.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
No, still.
Just working a second ago.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey. Thank you, Tony, for bringing me down. Rainier Avenue Radio Station for having me. It's an amazing opportunity to be here and speak about, some of the things going on in Rainier Beach and the community, and just be here with my people.
All right. Well, man, great to have you here. Let's first do this. Let's get some background information on you. You don't have a lot of years, but you've done wonders with the years that you have. Yes, so where are you from? Where did you go to school? Let's start with that. Where are you from? Where did you go to school?
Man, I'm from Seattle, Washington. Grew up in South Seattle, particularly. I grew up in the Rainier Beach area. My family moved around a little bit, so we practically lived in Rainier Beach off of Rose, 47th and Rose, and then we moved over to Mount Baker. So for elementary school, I started off going to AAA. For those that know what it is, African American Academy. We got to say that out loud for our community. And then after that, I went to John Muir Elementary School, right over here in Mount Baker area. After that, my mom didn't want me to go to Mercer. I wanted to go to Mercer so bad, but she made me go to Hamilton, Hamilton International in Wallingford. So I went over there, came back after I graduated from 8th grade in Hamilton, came back, went to Franklin for 2 weeks, which was cool.
2 weeks.
I went to Franklin for 2 weeks, and I lived across the street from Franklin. That's the craziest thing. And then I transferred from there, went to West Seattle High School, where I graduated. And that was one of the best decisions I ever made as a high schooler, as a teenager, actually, to leave Franklin and go to West Seattle.
Okay. Well, as a Quaker, I still accept your 2 weeks.
Hey, man, look, I'm in the yearbook. I'm solidified.
My guest again, Fynniecko Glover Jr. What made you decide that you wanted to engage in work on behalf and in the interest of our communities?
Just growing up, playing little league sports. My mom always been a community person. So my mom, I get it a lot from my mom. And then really I just had an awakening, with just everything happening. Everything happening from gun violence to just not seeing the equitable opportunities in school systems. And I was like, if I'm gonna be able to speak about it, I got to be being able to put the footwork into it. And being behind, why I'm actually doing what I'm doing and sending the message of what to my community. Like, I'm here to build my community and make sure that people have the opportunity to live, thrive, and work exactly where they're from, exactly where they grew up in. If, just going to West Seattle, I've seen a lot of my peers have so many opportunities, we have trade schools, we had pro stars, we have culinary classes, we had even a nursing program, right? And then, I'm seeing my friends that I grew up, that went to Rainier Beach, exactly where I live, Rainier Beach, Franklin, and they don't have these same opportunities in their school. So it's like, I'm going to predominantly white school and I can kind of go wherever I really want to, and have the mentorship and the guidance to get to where I want to, where, where it's really disinvested into where I live. So I just looked at it from a lens of a young adult, like, how am I supposed to live in a city that's advancing and my peers don't have the same opportunity advancing and the next generation doesn't? So that kind of led me into the work. And that kind of helped me start my own business, my own organization with Sprout. And that's kind of like what alluded to everything that I do for my community, for Rainier Beach, and, for anybody of African descent and diaspora, to make sure that we can have the opportunity to see the inner geniuses of ourselves and get the actual resources that we need.
And folks listening to you say this might say, you know what, I'm experiencing something different. Who were some of the folks, or where, again, did you get the impetus to say, okay, I know, we talked about you going to another neighborhood, maybe you're going to another school. Who were some of the folks in your life, or where did you get that aspiration? I could be wrong. I'm going to say it wasn't just the school that did that for you, the people around you, but I could be wrong. Tell me, let's talk about that.
We say that, like, are you talking about from high school?
From any walk of your life during this part of the journey. Who were some of the individuals, the people? I guess what I'm getting at, Fynniecko, at this point, I'm giving you the opportunity to give shout outs here to people, to people who impacted you, and they're in the walks of life that they came. I just want to get some background on.
Yeah, definitely got to give props to my dad. My dad really taught me a lot of wisdom. Definitely got to give props to my elder, my mentor, White King Garrett. He he's the one that really, like, sat me down and really was like, yo, here's these books, you need to read them. And gave me questions to read them. And like, that kind of helped me kind of shape my mind about, like, actually, like, what I'm actually doing for my community. Like, you can always have that idea of, like, oh, you want to do something,
Mhm.
but if you don't have that proper guidance and somebody that's already a leader that's been doing it for years, and you can watch this person doing it, and they're actually making the achievements and the strides, and they're always going and working for the betterment of the community, that right there kind of just shaped me into who I was, who I am today. Also, you know, I got to give credit to Triana Holiday, big sis.
Yeah.
She helped the same way, you know, that same push, the same push, the same drive, you know, and being more. Triana was more fun, you know. I'm not gonna say why King was, but Triana, she's more jolly, you know, she's more vibrant. And so, you know, that helped me. Curtis Calhoun, he helped me a lot. Mr. Gregory Davis, I always gotta give props to him because you know he's the one that helped me look at things in a more strategic way, in a strategic manner. Like, how do you actually set up an organization? How do you actually run an organization? How do you actually make things more aligned in the work that you're doing and make it purposeful?
Okay.
You know, I got to give credit to Elder Don Mason. You know, she's always speaking wisdom, guidance, and then I got to give, you know, there's some young folks out here that really helped me. I gotta say Tame Wakoma, Elijah L. Lewis, Antonica Jackson, Ed Hampton, Wale Kumasoto, you know, Dre Franklin from Bill 206, and just, you know, just my community in general. My community really helps me kind of do everything that I'm doing. The experience that I learned from a kid, seeing people grow up and the opportunities that they have. One of the biggest things, I've always been an observative learner. So learning from how people act or what people do, and kind of trying to make that align with my experiences and what I'm going through and how I can best shape it, and just ask questions, being open. You know, those are the people, the experiences that helped me become who I am today.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about your professional career now, and the work that you do. Let's talk about that. You know, the role that you play in the community as your job, as your job. And we talked about economic development manager. What does that mean? Explain that $25 word in a way, or sentence in a way that it makes sense to us out here.
You know, pretty much just trying to figure out the best ways to make sure the Rainier Beach community has an economic structure that can take and sustain our businesses, sustain people living in the neighborhood, working in the neighborhood, and kind of just testing out different pilots to make sure that we can have a sustainable neighborhood in Rainier Beach where people doesn't have to feel like they're getting pushed out.
Yeah.
And businesses can stay in Rainier Beach as all these new developments are coming, changing up the neighborhood. Just figuring out ways to best support our neighborhood businesses, support our organizations in the neighborhood, and make sure, you know, as these changes are coming into our neighborhood, that people have the opportunity just to stay afloat or thrive in the neighborhood.
You're listening to The Street Beat. It's me, your host, Tony B. My guest is Fynniecko Glover Jr. And we're going to tell you about some stuff that he's got coming up. Fynniecko, I want to ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
First of all, Rainier Avenue Radio exists to highlight and amplify the diverse voices in our community. And I've said this before, a lot of times when you hear about our community on the mainstream, it's usually about some form of crime. Crime happens in every community. But we take this opportunity to highlight all the amazing things and amazing people that take place in our community every day, literally every day. I'm so glad we gave you this opportunity to give a shout out to some of the people who you see as mentors and that have helped you on this pathway. So I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here because I'm going to limit you to 3. All right, folks can see that you're vested in the community. They can see your energy and passion for the community. What are your favorite things? 3 of them about living in South Seattle, about being engaged in the South Seattle community. Only 3.
One is very diverse, like being able to see a very diverse community, being able to talk to different people from different walks of life, you know, different backgrounds,
and that is a big deal.
Yeah,
that is really a big deal. You say that living in a diverse community. for us who live in this community, it is not something that we have to conjure up, not something that we have to aspire to. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Living in a diverse community. Love that. That's one.
Second thing would possibly have to be food. The food is so good, especially if you check out Rose Street. There's so many East African businesses.
Yeah,
the Sambusa, Mama Sambusa is one of my favorites. So if you ever in Rainier Beach, check her out. She makes some good food. But like I said, the food is very good. We have food from East African, Filipino food. We have Hispanic food. Like there's literally anything that you want, soul food. And so you literally can check out any type of thing and get any type of food. One of the newest restaurants in Rainier Beach we're about to open up is Crawfish King.
Right.
Yeah, so that's gonna be coming up.
Which
is
which is where Myers used to be.
Crawfish.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm loving this conversation.
Yeah, there's better be some good things coming, to our neighborhood, to Rainier Beach. So just trying to make sure that we can push the needle forward and make sure these businesses have the opportunity to capitalize on what's to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's super good. And I'll say the third thing.
This is your last. Not that there aren't many more, so I want you to think about it because these are the top three. Maybe 4 or 5 might be really close, but I need you to. What's this third? We got diversity, which I think everybody knows about this community. Food, which once again I think everybody knows about this community, and your third of the trifecta of top things you love about South Seattle.
Man, I'll have to say the amenities. The amenities. You check out the amenities in the neighborhood. So you got the Chief Self Trail, that leads all the way from up the top of the hill to Skyway and Rainier Beach that goes all the way to Othello. You got Beersheba Park, that's going to be getting renovated as well.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Rainier Beach Community Center. Which got the pool, so you go swimming, get your laps in. You got the library, Rainier Beach Library. You got the urban farms and wetlands. That's a nice place. Just check that out. And that was a beautiful place to be at. To kind of just get away. So yeah, we got some hidden amenities, in our neighborhood that people really don't check out. Even though Pritchard Beach, that's another one. So it's all right there in that little silo at Rainier Beach that I think is super cool. In our neighborhood.
Somebody give that man a contract for a official spokesperson for South Seattle. This is Tony B. You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Our guest again is Fynniecko Glover Jr. You've got an event coming up.
Yes, sir.
You've got an event coming up, and I want you to talk about this because I know there may be some surprises in here, but we'll just start with tell us what May 28th.
Man, so May 28th, the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society acknowledged me as one of the candidates for 2022 Visionaries of the Year for Seattle.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I'm going to be having a celebration and an event, sending it out to my communities to come out and celebrate with me. And have just have a fun time. I acknowledge and I give most of my credit to the people that helped me get to where I am today. None of this would be possible without the creator. Got to give your divinity his props, but my community helped me be the person who I am. So none of this is possible without my community. Each and every single one of the folks and individuals in my community, from elders to my peers to young teams to even infants, all supported me on becoming this person who I am. And so, the invitation is open to everyone to come out and have fun and just have a ball and just celebrate, our accomplishment, because it's not my accomplishment, because I wouldn't be able to be, a candidate for, that such an award without my folks in my community that acknowledge me and push me to who I am and where I am today. So, that is the event that I'm going to be celebrating. And going to HBCU too.
Yeah. Well, before we get to that, let's. I said 28th. Times, location.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna be at the Sankofa Theater in Chinatown. It's gonna be from 6 p.m. to 8:30 Saturday. May 28th. So if you need any information about it, or if you want to come and just support, make sure that you just follow me or add me on Facebook, Nico Glover, or Instagram, Nifty Neek, and then we'll be able to add you to the RSVP, and look forward to everyone coming and being there, being present, and just enjoying a good time and celebrating our accomplishment as a community.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna do that one more again for folks. All the vitals, information, when, where, all that stuff. One more time.
So the event will be Saturday, May 28th at the Sankofa Theater, from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. If you need any information, add me on Facebook at Nico Glover, or Instagram at Nifty Neek, and then I'll send you an invitation to RSVP, and then we'll just go from there, and look forward to seeing all my community members and family members and everybody coming down to enjoy a beautiful celebration that our community has, been acknowledged for.
And so now you can see, that's which I wanted folks to see before we got into this. Your energy and your personality and your passion are just infectious.
Thank you. I got to keep it true, like this is, as I said, like my people helped me get to who I am, and I couldn't have done it without y'all, No, I one of the things I say is I don't feel like I'm self-made, I'm community made. I was made and bred in my community, and that's how I operate my life. It's for the betterment of us, how we're going to be able to move the needle forward for the next generation, and who's going to be able to pass the baton to.
You just helped me segue into the next portion of this conversation, because to do that requires, among other things, but a very key role in making that happen is something that we call vision. And often that is the ability to see things that other folks aren't quite seeing yet.
Yeah.
That may help us with unanticipated challenges that we don't know are coming up yet. That can help us reduce the impacts of systemic oppression and injustice, and definitely not last or not least is just happiness. Providing a sense of well-being, which covers a number of different areas that are important in our community, whether you're talking about economics, which you work on, and whether you're talking about health disparities or any of those types of things. So just giving a little background on that, what did you feel like? Share that, create some theater of the mind for us when you were one of the folks who to possibly be visionary of the year.
Man, it's kind of hard to even just think about that acknowledgement. Like, when Katie from the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society, reached out to me about the opportunity, I was like, me? Like out of all folks, like there's so many people in our community that's doing such grand work, and their work is speaking for itself, like you can literally pinpoint a lot of folks because our community is very small, so you can be like literally anyone. But I think it attributes to the work, being super connected, listening to my elders, listening to my peers, and then with my organization Sprout, I work with youth young adults, so being able to kind of coach and mentor those folks up, those individuals up, is just something that I feel like helped me be acknowledged for the opportunity for the candidacy. And we want to be able to keep having our inner genius and cultivating this genius, with Africatown and our community. So I can't really paint a picture, but it was just like, like literally I was like, hold up, me, like, nah, I still got more work to do. I still, but when they call you, that's God saying, it's your time, and you got to accept the challenge and be there and continue to doing the work, not get too big headed. For me, this is just the work. you know, it's just the work. There's more work to be done. You know, we're still you know, healing from generational traumas that were inflicted from our ancestors. So, you know, and how we are abiding in today's society. How are we actually moving and coming together and benefiting each other? You know, there's still more work. There's still more, you know, disconnected youth that need the opportunity to build their resume, to gain these skills. There's still people in our community that's on the brinks of being homeless. So how do we continue to make sure that we have the opportunity to encompass our community and hold hands and make sure that everybody have the opportunity to feed and fend for themselves, and make sure that we loving our neighbors and our brothers and our sisters? So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, we're just gonna dedicate the next 4 hours of this show to Fynniecko Glover Jr. If you don't mind me asking, how young are you?
I'm 25.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
All of this at 25.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So when I kind of gave my perspective on what I thought it meant to be vision or be visionary or have those things. Do you feel that way about yourself? Is that something you've always felt? And don't be shame here. Don't play, you know, this is we water genius on this show.
Yeah.
Because there might be other people out there who may be like you know what, I feel a certain way. And everybody is not in the same position where they are surrounded by the people who can help them. Say, well, you know, here's where I can help you follow your dream. Here's where I can help you through this pathway. You're gonna have to go through it.
Yeah.
Have you always seen yourself in that way, in this way?
I know growing up, my parents always told me, you know, you have to go through things to get through things. You know, you have to go through the sun before you have to go through the rain before you reach the sun. Me being a visionary, me being in this position, I knew it would happen. I didn't know when. To be quite honest, I knew I was destined for greatness. I didn't know what my pathway was. I knew I always wanted to be in the community and do things which, you know, hindsight, you know, why I developed Sprout and making sure that we can pass something to our next generation. I didn't know it would come this fast. I didn't know it would be such a journey that it is, you know, being as young, making all these connections, speaking, you know. I kid you not, even last year around this time, I could not do this. I could not be as professional as I am today. But I always knew, you know, there was a point in time where I would have to make sure that I'm in these positions, in these seats. And, you know, luckily, by the grace of God, you know, he helped me find my community, find the people that could coach me and mentor me and guide me to this pathway. And, you know, just me being a hard worker that I am, trusting myself, being confident in myself, being confident in my abilities. And even, as I say, putting trust in other people has helped me get to where I am today. So I knew it would come. I just didn't know when.
I'm frustrated, Nico, because we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just got started. And I really wanted to give our listeners and our viewers an opportunity to find out who you were behind just making an announcement about this. And I think that's definitely, you know, coming through here. But what does leadership mean to you? And I got to close this out in a little bit, but what does leadership mean to you? It means different things to different people. For you, what does leadership mean when asked what it is?
Leadership is, to me, in my opinion, being able to guide while not being there. You don't have to be present to be a leader.
Okay.
One of the biggest things that I noticed, so, you know, working with Mr. Davis and, you know, Rainier Beach Action Coalition, Mr. Davis took maybe a 2-month leave. And, you know, while he was gone, you know, he was in his recovery, and the same thing flowed. Like the guidance, the messaging, how people how people were working together, collaborative, you know, economics, working with the small businesses, And that right there proved to me like you can be a leader and not be president. It's all about how you structure things,
Mm-hmm.
make sure people feel comfortable
Mm-hmm.
and respected, and making sure that folks have the confidence in order to excel in whatever they want to do. That's what I've seen how leadership has been demonstrated to me.
I am thankful to have had you on this show right now to have this discussion with you, because we're going to be, hopefully you'll come back,
Yeah, for sure.
because this is just the beginning for you
Yes, sir.
of your journey and the things that you have in front of you on your pathway. Now, I kind of saved this for last because I didn't want to really know how to bring it up. Alabama A&M.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
just say Alabama A&M,
Yes, sir.
and I'm going to let you fill in the blanks
Yeah, man.
right there.
HBCU, HBCU, man. It's super exciting. I'll be finishing my educational career at Alabama A&M, HBCU in urban planning.
Mhm.
It's super fascinating for me. I never been to Alabama. I only been to the South a few times. I've been to Mississippi.
Okay.
But just the opportunity to be around incubation of young Black professionals. People like we have a community here, but just imagine like going to a place where this is where they're made. Just this is where they're made, and you see people just like you in your same age bracket as you, studying things that's going to generate opportunities for our community and our society. And having that network being from the Pacific Northwest to going down south, it's like, oh wow, I could create a whole network down here, and I'm already where I'm at in my life. So just imagine if I'd be able to expand on that network in that capacity and be able to bring those geniuses up to the Pacific Northwest and my peers that's doing the work up here down to the South. So how are we going to be able to network and build and collaborate and make sure our community is equitable? We're cooperative economics, collaboration and celebrating our geniuses and having these people talk to these young folks up here about the opportunities and the struggles that they had to endure to go to college and feed for themselves and feed for their family. So, having that opportunity is something that I wanted to do, and show my friends, that you don't have to stay at home.
Okay.
You could go.
We got about 30 seconds left. I don't want to cut into Rick's time. Fynniecko, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. In the words of that great big orator Biggie Smalls, if you don't know, now you know about
Yes,
this.
sir.
30 seconds, final words for anyone that you want to share with us.
So yeah, we're gonna be having a Rainier Beach town hall on June 30th, inviting all the developers and community out. So it's open to the public. If you want to learn about all the new developments coming into the neighborhood, be there. It's gonna be at the Rainier Beach Community Center from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. That's going to be on the Thursday, June 30th. And then we're going to be having a Sprout University of Washington Black Story Matters project this Saturday at the Sankofa Theater, same as my celebration, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. uplifting our youth and young adults that did a creative expression on expressing why their story matters of being a Black and brown individual. So you can see that on live stream as well. So
all right, big show coming up next. Rick Dupree being joined by his big brother David Dupree. Right now, coming up here. Fynniecko, again, congratulations, man. Thank you for coming by, and nominee for Visionary of the Year. Just much success to you. Alabama A&M. I think there's more to say, but I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to leave it right there, okay?
Yes, sir.
That's it. That's all the time that I have. That's going to do it for the kid. It's me, Tony B., your host of Street Beat, saying, remember, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you are probably right. I'm out. Peace.